Hello everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Kristine Lund. Currently, I'm the interim principal dean at Martin Luther University College. I want to start by saying thank you. Thank you for your ongoing support during these very uncertain times. Thank you for your prayers and well wishes to students, faculty, and staff. And thank you for your commitment to furthering the vision and mission of Martin Luther University College. For those of you who don't know me, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I came to what was then Waterloo Lutheran Seminary in 2005 with primary responsibilities for the MDiv program and secondarily for the pastoral counseling program. In 2006, I became the assistant principal, and then my responsibilities shifted to be for the spiritual care and psychotherapy programs. In 2013, I used my sabbatical to develop the Delton Glebe Counseling Center and have been the clinical director since its inception. I love working at Luther. We have such a great group of faculty who work well together, who are highly committed to teaching, learning, and research. We have great students who are curious learners, who are following a sense of vocation, who lean into difficult questions and challenging conversations, and want to leave well prepared to make a difference in the church, in the community, both locally and abroad. There is a creative spirit here at Martin Luther University College, and it's led to new courses, to interesting programs, and for us to be considering new possibilities. I'm speaking to you today outside from the courtyard. Normally, the courtyard would have a number of Adirondack chairs scattered around where students would be enjoying a hot beverage, eating their lunch, doing some reading in preparation for class, and sometimes even catching a quick nap, because things can be quite demanding for a student. However, this year things are different. The main occupants of the deck this year are the Canada geese, and let me tell you, the students are much cleaner. But being outside is a good reminder that Luther is situated on the traditional territories of the Haudenosaunee, the Anishinaabe, and the Neutral people. We're very grateful for the wisdom of our Indigenous peoples that has helped us as settlers thrive over the years. And at Luther, we continue to look for opportunities to build better and healthier relationships with our Indigenous brothers and sisters. If you're not sure what Indigenous land you might be living on, I'd encourage you to go to the website nativeland.ca and you can discover it there. I know that the last 6 months have been very challenging. We've been challenged to reimagine life and work, learning how to imagine these different strategies and lean into the promise that we will once again be able to see and be physically present with our families and friends. In one way, we've all been required to be students again, to learn new things, to resurrect old things that we did know. So I wanted to update you a little bit on what's happening at Luther and the learning that's going on here, so that you also might know what's happening here and maybe would find some of the resources useful as you face these challenging times as well. In mid-March, we shut down all classroom learning and pivoted very quickly to a remote style of learning. We continued in spring term and now into fall, and winter term will also be in a remote context. Certainly, this isn't what any of us would have wanted, and many of our students would prefer to be in a physical classroom. However, it's important for all of us to do our part in order to minimize the spread of COVID-19. While we've pivoted to a remote learning context, I want you to know that the professors are taking very seriously this transition. We deeply value the teaching and learning process and want to uphold the excellence of our degrees. So when we are learning in a remote context, it's important to understand that we are not just making do with the online experience. No, we are finding new ways of being in relationships for learning. We are not face-to-face in the way that we used to think about that, but we are still very much face-to-face, bringing all of ourselves to what we do and creating a learning community together. In this way, our screens are a place of connection and a way of being present to one another. So we're encouraging students to lean into this new experience, to be brave, to ask questions, to engage conversations both in their small groups and in the larger class settings, to reach out to their peers and professors when they have questions or concerns, so that together we can create an engaged learning community and that the learning can be enriching. I also want you to know that because we're living in these different times, many of the resources that we would have done face-to-face are now being done online. So every day we offer a contemplative pause opportunity between 12:30 and 12:50. Through music, written word, and physical movement, we remind ourselves of the importance of rest, reflection, and renewal. We also continue our open door services every Wednesday at 5 via Zoom. This month, we've just had a solidarity service for Orange Shirt Day, recognizing the impact of residential schools. Each month, we will have a solidarity service that's focused around a social justice issue. The other services will be a regular communion service, and we invite you to participate and join with us. We also have a few virtual events coming up. Sing Fires of Justice, which is an annual event, is going virtual with their gathering. It will happen on October 4th at 7. And it's looking at the question of home. What does home mean for you? And what does home mean in these challenges of COVID-19, where many of us are homebound, some of us are homeless, or others of us are needing to find a different way to be at home with children, partners, working, teaching, all of those kinds of things. And what do we need to have a more robust understanding of home for all? Also, the Delton Glebe Counseling Center will be holding their 5th annual breakfast. And this year, we're going to be having a panel discussion on grief, loss, ritual, and hope in a time of pandemic. The tickets are $50, and a good portion of that ticket is a charitable donation. In addition to these events, the Center for Public Ethics is launching a podcast looking at the impact and implications of the COVID pandemic and the important ethical questions that this crisis raises for faith communities and people of faith. So you can look into all of these resources on our website. We also invite you to visit us at Martin Luther University College and take a virtual tour of our newly developed building. Mark Ehlebrocht, a current PhD student, did that virtual tour for us. And if you haven't been in the building since the redevelopment, I suspect you'll find a few changes. As I step into this new role, I hope to stay connected with you through video messages and emails and perhaps a few phone calls. I would also encourage you to stay connected with us through our website, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and join us at any of the events that I mentioned. If you have questions or concerns, I would ask you to reach out to me, and you can find my contact information on the school's website. In the meantime, again, I want to say a deep and heartfelt thanks to you. And I hope that you and those you hold dear will stay well and that you'll find ways to thrive in the midst of these challenging times. Bye for now.